Good morning, one and all. So this is TSN Murthy, Faculty in Computer Science, Samhita Degree College, Rajahmundry. So we are taking database management system today. So introduction of database management system. So when we talk about the databases, what is basically a database? First question is, what is a database? So before understanding database, we have to understand the terms data and information. So data means facts and figures. Facts and figures. So the data is very important essential term in any organization. So without data, nothing can be done. So data is actually facts and figures. It is raw material. Raw material means it is not the processed data. It is having its individual meaning. And for example, let us say a student. So information, so data in the sense it is a name of the person, name of the city or place or anything. Okay. So this is actually not processed. When we process that data that is in the unorganized way. The data is in unorganized way. When that data is processed, it is organized way and meaningful. So that is used for some purpose to take some decision. So in the even in the business organizations. So suppose 5 and 8. 5 and 8 are data and they are the numeric individual numeric figures. And when you add one plus operator, so it makes addition and that will be processed and you will get the information or output as 30. So individually the 5 and 8 are the numeric digits having individual values and with a plus operator it will make accumulation summation of the data and gives the information. So this is what we get is the meaningful and it is the organized way. So let us talk and understand in a database. So database means when you understand the data, it is an unorganized way, and whereas information is the organized way and the processed data. So database is a collection of the definition of the database is a collection of organized information. Organized information. Database is an organized collection of organized information stored in a database. Database means it is a file. Database is a file. So it is a collection of organized information stored in a database in the form of columns and rows. So, database is a collection of organized information. Organized means what I mean to say that is properly arranged. Suppose to give an example of a perfect database means English dictionary is one of the best example of a database. So where all the words are alphabetically arranged in the English dictionary. In the same way, suppose we go to some shop to purchase some shoes or something. You go to the bottle shop and all the different sizes of shoes are arranged in a box and kept in a rack. So they will bring out that numbered shoe without searching here and there. That is organized way. Suppose in a library, books are arranged. So in different racks, the computer science books are kept in one shelf, and physics books are kept in one shelf, mathematics books are kept in one shelf. In that way, the books are not kept in a zigzag order, they are kept in a proper order so that you can search for a computer science book in the computer's rack only. So that is the organized fashion. So database is a collection of organized information that is stored in the form of columns and rows. So once you understand the definition of a database, how the database is? The database is stored in a table like this. And here, these are the columns. These are the columns. And columns are known as fields. Columns are known as fields. So here, number. Student number is one field. And student name of the student. Then subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. So this is a field, this is a field, and this is a field. Collection of all these fields, collection of all these fields is called a record. So we have records. For example, 9012. So it is Suresh who got 38 marks in subject 1, 45 marks and 60 marks in subject 3. In the same way, there is another student 9419 Mohan who got 45, 55, 39 something. So here this is the field and it is a record. And this is first record, record 1, record 2, record 3 and so on. You can have n number of records. This is a database and the collection of all the fields is called a record and collection of all the records is called a database. And I call this as student database. Student database. And here the data is student number, student name, and the different marks obtained in different subjects of the student. Whereas this is the only data and this is useful data for the student database to process further to calculate the average marks, total marks, and providing grading and other things. So the database is further required to be organized or processed to give meaningful and useful information. So that will be controlled and we can do it through a program control. So collection of all the fields. The fields are individual data items. So fields will be having a field name, field data type and width, numeric or character or whatever it may be, the different data types that it can hold and the maximum size of the field we can provide, we can allot. So collection of all the fields is called a record and collection of the records is called a database and this kind of database automatically maintains the record numbers and you can have n number of records. Am I clear? Now, before having any database, so before having any database, we need to plan and design the structure of the database. For example, for this student database, we have student number, student name, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. These are the fields. So you can say these are the fields, field name, and the field type here, student number is numeric, which is having width. We can have width up to 4 and it doesn't have any decimal part. And student name is character. We can maximum allocate 25 characters for the student name. Subject 1, it is a numeric. Subject 2, it is numeric. Subject 3, it is also numeric, having 3 digits. Numeric maximum of 3 digits. This is called structure of the database. This is called structure of the database. So, depending on the structure only, we build the records for the student database. So, every database will have database structure, and depending we have to design and plan the database structure initially to build the records for the database, and the database will hold the records in the form of columns and rows. Okay, so here student number, which is a numeric, doesn't have any decimals. Suppose, for example, in a bank, if there is a particular field like amount, so amount will have numeric only data. The data that we can see is numeric only, having certain width limitation of the field, and it is having the decimals. Decimals means two decimals. Suppose 325 or 1000 rupees 68 paisa. So the decimals has to be allowed for the numeric field. So what are the data types that are provided by the database? We discuss. So we have to plan the database, and once the structure of the database is designed, we can build the records on the database. So whatever the database, so let me tell you the types of the database. What are the different types of the databases? So we have student database, student information database. In the same way, we have employee information database. Employee information database. Then library information database. Then inventory control database. Inventory control database. So databases are of many kinds depending on the usage and requirement of the user. So here some of the examples are student information database, employee information database, library information database, and inventory control information database. In the same way, a doctor may have a computer with him, and he wanted to maintain a database regarding the storage of the patient's address, patient's contact details, and what for he visited and when exactly he visited to him, and the type of problem and what are the medicines prescribed, everything. So the doctor wants to maintain a database for his patients. So doctor maintenance database. In the same way, sales information database, production information database, like that. So there are different databases that depends and used by different users. Now, when you understand the database, what is basically a database and data and information, so such kind of database, once you created the database, that kind of database you need to perform some of the basic operations frequently on it. So, for example, In the student information database, you can create the database and you need to add or insertion of the records. Insertion of the records into the database. We need to add two or three more or some more new records into the database. So you want to make some modifications. You want to make some modifications or updations into the database. Updations of the database. And sometimes you want to delete the unnecessary information. Delete the information from the database. You want to make some queries. Query the database. Query databases means you can ask the number of students from a particular place. That is a query. So querying the database. And again, organizing the database. You need to organize the database. Organize the database according to your requirement. For example, you want to organize the database alphabetically name-wise in either ascending order or descending order. Then you want to process the database. Processing of your database from the first record till the end of the record. So from the first record to the last record of the database. Then you need to generate the reports, and this kind of operations you require to perform very frequently on a database. That kind of database, that to managing the database is known as database management system. Database management system. DBMS stands for Database Management System. Database is a collection of organized information that is stored in the form of columns and rows, whereas a database management system frequently required to perform some of the operations on it. Such kind of operations when you perform in day-to-day operations in the organization, so that kind of database is known as database management system. Clear? Now we discuss the basic purpose of the database. Purpose of database. Database is required to store data, retrieve data, then process data to give the meaningful information effectively and efficiently. So that is the purpose of the database. So all the databases that you are maintaining in an organization should work in such a manner that they should give efficient and effective performing the operations without any problem, without any difficulty. So this is the purpose of database management system. So we will discuss about the evolution of the databases. So before evolution of the databases, we have to understand the file system. So in fourth generation languages like C language, COBOL, BASIC, Pascal, and the earlier previous fourth generation languages, people used to work with the file-based systems. In file-based systems, the data is stored in the form of a field and records. So the file-based system is having its own advantages and as well as some of the major disadvantages also. So for example, redundancy of the data. Redundancy of data. Redundancy means duplication. Duplication of data. Duplication of data in the mean, I mean to say, people use it to maintain different files, and they are having fields in a different formats in each file. So there comes a problem. Suppose, let me tell you one small example. Suppose there is a bank, and in that bank there are certain accounts for the savings bank account. Savings bank account. In the same way, there is an account known as current account, and the same customer is having another account that is a loans account. So one customer or one particular person has taken loan from the same bank, and he is having a current account and as well as savings bank account in that branch. So they are maintaining three different files, and in that they are having different fields as a customer ID, customer identification. This is a customer ID. So here in the current account it is customer ID, and here customer ID. And the fields are scattered here. In the savings bank, the field is given as customer identification, customer ID, CUST ID, and in the current accounts file, so he has given CID. CID is meaning is same customer CID, customer ID, and in the loans account, he has given the field as customer ID. The format is scattered and different. So wherever the files are individually used, the same customer name, customer address, customer contact number, and other details are quite repeated in each and every file. So that is the repetition of the data, duplication of the data that causes the redundancy. Redundancy, wherever the redundancy that takes place, ఎక్కడైతే redundancy ఉంటుందో అక్కడ there comes inconsistency of the data. Data will be always not consistent, inconsistency. Wherever you find that the data is consistency, why? Because when you want a new report to be generated by combining these three files, so it is not possible. So it is what happens, the format, the fields are different and they are scattered in each file. So the programmer requires extensive programming. Programming takes place, extensive programming is required to generate a report because of the scattered data. And in the same way, it is not possible to share the data to multiple users. So multiple users means concurrency. So concurrency is not possible. So it is sometimes it is insufficient to make ad hoc decisions, and the file system not having any complete proper security for the data. There is no proper security, and to have this kind of drawbacks in the file system, to overcome these file system problems, there comes a new system evolution, that is databases. So in databases, it is the reduction of the redundancy, that you can maximum reduce the redundancy of the data, and controlled inconsistency. Consistency can be maximum minimized, and you can share the data among the multiple users. So in a multi user database systems, you can share the data so that the users will concurrently use the same system and work with the same database at a time. So security measures are very strong in the databases. So that's why a database is highly used, which is very meaningful and persistent to maintain, persistent to maintain. So when you have a database, when you have a particular database, the database evolved with the overcoming the drawbacks of the file system. The new software is introduced, that is the database management system. So databases are single user databases and multi-user databases. Multi-user databases. Suppose in a single user database means only one person can have that database in his system and can work with that database. That is a single user database. So he will be having the applications and he process the data and he only it is particularly belongs to that single person and single system. So this kind of databases are DBase, FoxPro, FoxPlus and so on. And whereas when you talk about the multiple databases, we have Oracle, Ingress, Informix, Sybase, and DB2, etc. So these are the advanced databases in which we use to work, and it supports to store huge information. Okay, huge information, and the querying the data is also very fast in retrieval. It will process the database and give the final information or the output according to the user's requirement. So this is the types of databases, having single user databases and multi-user databases. So now we talk about the components of the databases. Components of databases. So when we talk about the components of the databases, there are basically four kinds of the databases. One is data. Second is data is very important. So without data, nothing can be done. And data is having its specific meaning and it is further processed. Then hardware. Hardware means we have to plan what configuration of the computer we require to maintain the database. Hardware means the computer. The computer having the storage capability and processing speed, and depending on the software that you choose, it must accommodate compatibility with the software. So you have to define the hardware requirements. And third one is software. Software means the set of programs. Software means set of programs that achieve a particular task is called a software. So database software. So what kind of the database software you should install, and you have to develop the programs to meet up the requirements, keeping in mind that the growth of the database in future. Then users. So the components of the database is data, first thing, then hardware, the requirement of the specifications of the computer that we require, and the software, what kind of software to be used for database maintenance, and users. Users will be divided into end users, application programmers, application programmer, then database administrator. Database administrator. So, okay, in users, the management also involved under system administrators, system analysts, database administrators, then application programmers, then the people who use the software is end users who involve and interact with the developed software. So suppose the person who developed the programs is the programmer, he is not available, he developed the program, and the people in the organization, they use the software developed by someone, some X, and they will interact with their day-to-day operations in the organization. They are the end users. Maybe you can call them data entry operators. So database administrator, DBA. The database administrator job is to design and to plan the database structures. Database structures. So that the database is consistent and persistent, and the main objective of the database is storage of huge data and maintenance. So without any problems, and the data must be consistent. So while maintaining the database, we have to consider the constraints of the database. Constraints of the database means the database supports certain constraints. So what values should be entered into the database? So it is maintenance of the integrity constraints. Maintaining the integrity constraints. Suppose a particular student number is given. Student number is given to enter, and it is only numeric and 4 digits only. Suppose some person has given some alphabetical text and it is accepted. It is not the mistake of the data entry operator. So actually it is only numeric. It should allow only 4 digits. In the same way, suppose in an amount field, amount must be greater than 0 and it should be having certain range, right? Suppose we have given a amount and entry in negative form. Suppose the negative minus 32 point something something like that. So it should not be taken. And in the same way, suppose if it is a name of a person, it should accept only alphabets. It should not accept any numbers. So we have to check the constraints at the time of entering the data by the operator. So that kind of checking is known as constraints, integrity constraints. They must be validated. So for example, I am having the student database as I am telling you, so I told already earlier. So here is the student database. Here student number. Student number is a primary key. It is a primary key. Primary key means it is a unique key. Primary key means it is an unique key that identifies the record in the entire database. So maybe database is having any number of records, maybe 1 billion or trillion or any number of records that it can have. So a student number, without giving the student number, the record is not updated in the database. So that's why student number is the primary key which uniquely identifies a particular record in the database. So student number is a primary key. It is not null. It should not be empty. It must have value. for that particular field, and it is unique. It is unique. So not null plus unique is the primary key. Primary key means it is the key which identifies a record uniquely in the entire database. Whereas student name, subject 1 marks, subject 2 marks, subject 3 marks, and other fields are secondary keys. So like that, you will have integrity constraints as check constraint, null constraint, not null, primary key, secondary key, then foreign key, and other different types of constraints. So integrity constraints can be maintained for accuracy of the data to be stored in the database. So thank you very much, and let us meet in the next session. So we have covered the introduction of the database. What is a database? What does it do, what is the purpose of the database, and the database is required to be maintained properly by maintaining the day-to-day operations of the organizations in a effective and efficient manner without giving any trouble. So that kind of database must be thoroughly planned and designed to give the maximum optimization of the resources of the computer. So thank you very much.